Today marks 8 years since the current constitution came into operation. Experts maintain that a lot has changed since then, and a lot more could be achieved if the chapters of the document can be followed to the letter. And Oukot looks at Kenya's journey since the August of 2010.
The date was 1st of September 2017 when history was made. The Supreme Court on the land reversed and declared null and void the re-election of President Uhuru Kenyatta, a decision that served as a hallmark to the changes the constitution that became operational 8 years ago had brought forth.
That it had the courage also to deliver the ruling that annulled the president's election is also an indication of the times we are living in. Times that are buttressed by the new constitution. Initially, we intended to do away with the imperial presidency. We may not have quite succeeded, but you'll agree with me, the current president is not as imperial as his predecessors.
Indeed, many say a lot has changed since the 27th of August 2010, when then President Mwai Kibaki lifted the document, ushering in a new dawn. Political scientists and those who drafted the document are pointing out to the fact that many rights are now being exercised and many Kenyans are able to access the courts. Accountability level is on the rise and devolution appears to be taking shape and re-steering the country.
This constitution is developmental. So if you look at the aspect of devolution, at least the constitution has ensured that money, hard cash money, resources, have gone to every part of the Republic of Kenya. Whether that money has been prudently used or not, that's a different question. It has nothing to do with the constitution. That has everything to do with the leadership. So that even today you go to the capital cities of all the 47 counties, at least you can see some transformation, some change.
But walking the talk has partly been slow, especially when it comes to the implementation of the 2/3 gender rule. Oukot says the biggest challenge has been the failure by those in power to adhere to its dictates.
This constitution is not being followed. And by the way, if I take you back memory lane, Chapter 6 requires, for example, Chapter 6 requires leadership with integrity. Look at even what's happening at IEBC currently. Do those 3 commissioners who wants to come back after publicly resigning really know the constitution? And do other independent officers, the appointing authorities, understand the constitution? Those are people they should not be entertaining in the first place. So you can see to that extent, whereas we have a very good constitution, but its implementation is wishy-washy.
The interpretation of some chapters and clauses of the booklet, especially those that define roles and powers of certain institutions, has led to battles, especially between Parliament and judiciary and between the Senate and the National Assembly. Experts have suggested amendments to address some of the challenges and problems the Constitution has posed.
So there are issues, yes, the 20%, and the emerging challenges. We look at our elections, and many people are beginning to ask themselves, this winner take all, is it the right thing for our context? And people are beginning to ask also, really, why don't we go back to the original dream of a parliamentary system?
Yes.
Yeah.
8 years after the Constitution came into force, experts believe if well implemented, the document remains the game changer. Oukot, Citizen TV, in the county of Nairobi.